Is the market crashing? Are we about to see prices tank? I have a really interesting update for you this month that will help give you a clear indication of exactly where we're headed. Before we get too deep though, here are your quick and dirty stats for the month before I give you a little bit more context. So units listed for the month of July were actually up 20% from July of last year. What's interesting is we also saw sales down 50% versus July of last year as well, but it was pretty evenly spread amongst all real estate types. Days to sell was up slightly from 39 to 43 last month, and prices, we'll have to get to that in just a moment. Okay, so what does this mean and what are we seeing? We're seeing the biggest increase in inventory in the single-family detached market, where we've actually seen the single-family listings increase by 50% versus July of 2021. What's interesting to note though is we've actually only seen apartment listings increase by 12%, and we actually saw a 4% reduction in townhouse listings overall. I think that the apartment and townhouse numbers though are a little misleading, as a lot of developer inventory actually never hits realtor.ca, so it's not accounted for in our numbers. The most interesting indicator that I saw in the most recent batch of stats is in relation to the monthly median price. Now, if you've been tuning into my updates for the last few months, you've actually heard that the median house price has been falling over the last few months. And this last batch of stats was the first time in 4 months where I've actually seen the median price increase. So last month, we actually saw the price increase from 1 million evenly on the nose to a jaw-dropping 1,011,250. Obviously, this is not a large amount, but it does say something important as to the direction of price, meaning that we're no longer seeing prices slide. It's an educated guess, but my expectation is that we shouldn't see any price volatility over the next 3 to 4 months as we head into the busy fall market. However, as we head into the winter market, depending on the amount of inventory, we might see a little bit of price volatility again, as you might have more and more sellers chasing less and less buyers, and the only way they'll be able to incentivize them to write is to lower their price. I expect that we're gonna see an increase in new inventory on the market over the next 4 to 6 weeks, but that increased supply will likely be matched by an increase in buyer activity as well. What inevitably happens every year is that as summer winds down and people start focusing on their real life rather than their vacation, it inevitably leads to increased buying and selling. It's worth noting too that if you're thinking about selling but want to move before the snow flies, well, time's ticking for you, because believe it or not, we're almost there. The reality is that from the time that the for sale sign goes up to the time that you move out of your home is usually about 90 days, which from the day that I'm filming this right now, takes us to the middle of November. So if you're interested in moving this year, I would recommend getting on it right now. Okay, so that's it for this update. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to me, and thanks for watching.